Here, Mr. Lopes. Here, Mr. O'Brien is absent. Mr. Pelton. Here, alternate member Ms. Pratt. Here, and Chairman Tucker.
Here.
Here, quorum is present. First item on tonight's agenda was continued from the meeting of February 25th. It's application A2604, Cepage Development LLC, 78 Mill Street, Middleton, requesting variances from the ZBA to enable the appellant to construct 2 townhouse dwellings at 661 Washington Ave.
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Members of the Board of Appeals, James Cipolletta, 5 Fremont Street in Winthrop, on behalf of Mr. Cepage, who is here. This is a proposal for townhouses on a lot that is 9,410 square feet, and it contains one building that had suffered a total loss during a fire. So Mr. Cepage has plans to put the townhouses there at the location and replace that two-family house with the townhouse setup. There are 3 areas of relief that are required. One is for a variance from the minimum lot area of 10,000 square feet, so we're only very shy of that. We're 9,410. It's a generous lot on its own. The rear yard setback of 20 feet. That setback does not offend substantially against the neighborhood in the rear of that, and that's that rear yard setback that's noted on the plan. The third one is with respect to the driveway that shall not be within 20 feet of a point of curvature of an intersection. We understand there is driveway there now, and we understand that the city engineer has taken a look at this. We have an engineer as well, and so what would do if there was it was the wisdom of the Board of Appeals to grant the relief, we would hire a safety engineer, make sure that it was designed appropriately, make sure that cars that are entering or exiting the driveways there near the curve in the street could do so safely. As with all projects that get relief from the board, we'd have to go back anyway to make sure that we tie up all of the safety and the health and other regulations, go back to the site plan review people, and they would tell us how we could engineer that better if they felt that it was not substantially improved from its current situation. We do understand that there's a reason for that ordinance, but there is also a remedy for that. And with good engineering and good planning, the site plan review, I am confident and would be happy with that. If there are any questions regarding the zoning, I'm happy to answer them. If there is anything with regard to the building and the materials as well, Mr. Cepage is here to answer those.
Thank you. Seeing that this is a public hearing, I will open it up and ask for proponents. Anyone in favor? From our last meeting, if we could read into the record the letter from Serino.
The proponent from the previous meeting was Jean Serino, 54 Carlson Ave. I submit this letter as the former property owner of 661 Washington Ave, along with my late husband, Richard. I have seen the proposal, and on its face, it looks to be a good use of the land, and I feel it will fit the neighborhood nicely. I've also seen some of the applicant's other projects and feel they complement the neighborhood, so in this respect, I am a proponent of the project. However, there's one aspect of the proposal I feel a responsibility to address, and that's the proposed new driveway on Washington Ave. I've seen traffic increase over the 30 years I've lived at this address. The intersection of Washington Ave and Malden Street has had its share of accidents, to the point where stop signs and a blinking red light have been added to both directions of Washington Avenue traffic to go along with the stop signs for Malden Street drivers entering Washington Ave. Guardrails have also been added in front of 2 Washington Ave properties, including the project's direct abutter. Cars have jumped the intersection island and caused property damage, including to my own yard. Taking my firsthand experiences into account, the proposed new driveway on the Washington Ave side of the property should be given more thought from a safety standpoint. Not every car from Malden Street comes to a full stop at their stop sign before accelerating onto Washington Ave. And in my opinion, anyone entering or exiting that new driveway is at serious risk of an accident. I understand that since I no longer live there, it ought to be the will of the direct and indirect abutters of the property and the city council to decide what's best for the neighborhood. It's my wish that the proposed project works for everyone. Jean Serino, 54 Carlson Ave.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Press the microphone button once and it will turn red up on top. Nope, it turns red. So she'll take care of it for you.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Barry Spark. I'm a longtime resident of Revere and a business owner. And the project Mr. Zapash is proposing.
You have to have your address, please.
My address is residence address 590 Revere Beach Boulevard. My business is United Brokers of Revere. And the address is 283 Cushman Ave.
Thank you.
I saw the proposed project. I support because the building is an eyesore, and not only he will beautify that area, but also adds value to the neighborhood. And I saw his past projects. I support him 100%. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Good evening. State your name
Good
and
afternoon, everyone. Jim McCurry, 193 Crescent Ave, Ward 1 City Councilor. We haven't seen an updated plan on how he's going to do these driveways. One of the driveways is going to be within the 20 feet zone of the curvature of the Washington Ave corner. This corner is one of the busiest intersections in Revere without a street light. And this builder wants to put a driveway close to the corner of that intersection. The petitioner that just came up in front of it that was for this even stated that this is a very dangerous intersection where these townhouses are going to be built on. I looked at the property several times. There's a telephone pole that's going to be away. There's also a fire hydrant down in the, close to one of the proposed driveways. I wonder if the developer is going to move that. But I don't think this is a very good project for the area. I think one townhouse for that would be fine. It's just the driveways are going to encroach onto that 20-foot radius intersection. Thank you.
When you, Councilor, just when you say updated plan, the plan's been on file, so there's no updated plan. The plan on file clearly states.
They came in front of the council with a plan, and we had looked at it, and the council was against this because of the driveways.
Okay, but the plan that's presented to us is the plan.
Is the plan that's on file right now.
Plan.
Okay, all right.
The one that was filed months ago is the plan that's on file.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Tucker.
Okay.
Good evening,
Good
Councilor
evening.
at Large, Michelle Kelly. I want to say I'm not totally against this project. I generally am in favor of townhouses and single-family homes. So I like to try to support those proposals. However, the concern I have, I'm going to echo what Councilor Mercurio said, is in fact the driveway. We know that even the proponent in her letter mentioned the unsafe driveway. Like as Councilor Mercurio said, this is one of the busiest intersections in Revere. I'm afraid that if the plan right now, as it is proposed, if it were to be approved, it would create traffic nuisance, more so than what's there right now. That would lead to other maybe traffic changes, a street light, things that the neighborhood is going to have to deal with as a result of this project. So I did, being no expert, I just know that this is not allowed and would need a variance because of it being within the 20 feet. I did reach out to Mr. Nick Rystrom, our city engineer, and he did give me his expert opinion, and I quote, "This would create a very unsafe condition." So I would like this to be something redesigned. If we could keep the driveways on Malden Street, maybe create a shared driveway. I know they're squeezing in the 4 units, that really the lot should accommodate 3. I don't really have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with the driveway, so I'm asking you to please have the applicant go back to the drawing board and see if they can come up with a different solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other opponents? Anyone opposed? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any members wish to speak?
I had a question, but the counselor kind of addressed it about the safety engineer.
Yes, sir.
You guys are going to hire to look at the plan.
Yes, we've, Mario has been in touch with some people because we learned recently of the city engineer's concern. We also heard some concerns from the city council, so a couple of the things that have been floated and would have to make sure that it's the right solution, or part of the right solution is to install some bollards around in the appropriate areas on the property and not on the city land, so that we don't interfere with any traffic or pedestrian. One thing I would like to maybe clarify, and my longtime friend, Councilor Mercurio, indicated that the city council was against it. A couple of city councilors said that they had raised some concerns about it. In fact, the ward councilor said that he was in favor of it. So we need to be back before the zoning subcommittee of the city council, because we've already had our initial public hearing, and then we'll have to make further cases there, and then they will make their recommendations back to the full council, as you know, and they'll vote. But you know, as anything else, these things become sort of evolving plans. Not that we're going to change anything materially, but anything that needs to be installed, that's either life safety and those types of issues needs to be addressed. Those will be done and probably conditioned by the city council, because we are asking for a special permit.
Right, so is this going to go back to the city council?
It does.
Or back to zoning?
Yes.
The recommendations from the safety engineer?
The city's safety engineer or our safety engineer?
No, your safety.
If they're done by that time. What happened is that because of the cancellation of the hearing due to the blizzard, we actually ended up doing back end first. So we ordinarily would be, in fact, we're mandated to be before the Board of Appeals before we're at the City Council. But because there was a cancellation of a hearing, we then ended up at the City Council first. And also, I think that last month, there was not a full board, so we opted to take advantage of making our case to the full board. So the full council has heard our presentation. They have referred it to the zoning subcommittee for their recommendations, and then the council will do what they do. But we need to clear the ZBA first before we can get a vote. So right now we're hanging fire.
Okay.
Any other members?
Yes. So there is a concern. Oh, yeah, there is a concern from the 2 councilors. Is there any chance you guys can go back to the drawing board and work with them?
I'm sure we will, and I'm sure that it's going to be more than the 2 councilors, because the zoning subcommittee tends this session to be fairly active and proactive in asking for things to be firmed up, and so that some of the concerns could be allayed. So yeah, we're happy to work with the councilors. We've already been in contact even before filing the application with the ward councilor and worked with him as well. But yeah, I think that's going to be a necessity, indeed.
Okay.
Any other members?
Sure. I'd like to rebuttal with Mr. Sippel. With all due respect, Mr. Sippoletta, the majority of the council was against this project. There were people that were for the project, so I want to just clarify that matter with you. Thank you.
I just have a question. I just have a question for the board in terms of procedurally. If you go ahead and grant this variance, what would we have in terms of leverage for them to go back to the drawing board and do anything if you grant the variance for them to be inside that 20 feet?
You have to vote that it's allowed. It's not a matter of right. It has to be a special permit from the council.
If you guys already grant the variance, it kind of gives them, well, the ZBA said this was okay. So that kind of gives it a disadvantage. So if anything, hold off until we do vote on it.
Well, you can't vote on it first. It comes in front of the ZBA to go in front of the council, from what I'm understanding.
But it was
Is that wrong?
Okay, all right, but
It's not, the council did not vote on it. They
Then
had
I
to put
would-
it in subcommittee because the ZBA didn't take action.
then
yet.
I would ask that this be on hold until the discussions with the council take place to try to reconfigure this driveway. Thank you.
We didn't have the opportunity to vote.
Ashley, can you please speak on this for procedural events?
The city
for
council
city?
cannot take a vote on the application until, if variances are granted, the city council is voting on the use, not the zoning variances that are being requested.
That's the way it is, Mr. Tucker?
Well, it's not Mr. Tucker's way it is. It's the way that it's set up. It's unfortunate we can't make a change to that. Is there any other questions from
Yeah,
you?
I got a question. Can this be tabled until we see the safety report from the engineers?
The council is this board. We can we can make a motion to continue, and you can continue it if you wish, or you can make a motion to vote on it. It would always be a motion in favor, and then you'd have to decide if you're not voting in favor. But you can make a motion to continue, but that's a board's privilege. What's the wish of the council, the board?
I think there's confusion on if we vote on it today, does it go back to the council?
Here's the
Yes.
board, just so to make it clear for us, we're not part of the council, so
Right.
to make it very clear for us, if we vote on this and it's approved, the variances are set forth, it would go in front of site plan review, but the driveway would be within the 17 and a half feet from the corner, not 20. That would be a part of this variance and approved.
Right.
That if a tree has to be taken down, that's a whole other issue with now it's the city engineer who's the tree warden, they'll make a decision for that. If a hydrant has to be removed, that's DPW, that would be,
So the safety engineer that you guys are hiring to oversee the issues of dangers to the driveway,
Yes.
whatever, that would come after?
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully we would have, I mean, we're probably going to have a lot of input from the zoning subcommittee. And as the chair and the clerk has indicated, the full city council gets to vote on whether or not the project as a whole is going to go forward or not.
So even if we voted on it today,
Yes.
there's still issues that you guys would have to work out concerning the safety with the engineers?
They already raised it at the public hearing, so I'm sure I'm going to hear about it at the subcommittee.
Okay, got it.
for a point of clarification. The ZBA votes on this tonight, and it's accepted or voted as an affirmative. The variance for driveways, every variance is approved. It doesn't change after we make a decision. They can't make a change. The site plan review can maybe say where to put a tree, take a tree down, but the variances that are being requested are voted on, and that's it.
Recommendations from the safety engineer.
But it's a recommendation. It's
Right.
we're approving the plot plan the way it is, that's final. We don't get involved in the city council because the city council is only approving a change from their change of use. Go ahead.
The city council is approving the use. Under the city's zoning, A special permit from the city council is required for a townhouse use in the RB district.
And the city council can issue special permits with conditions.
Okay.
I just want to
I'll
clarify.
allow one more, yeah, go ahead.
So the city council is going to be voting on the use of a townhouse in an RB district. That's it. If you guys approve these variances, we are now voting on a project with those variances that you approved. It is going to be very difficult to try to go back and say, do this differently. Well, why should we? The ZBA already approved the variance for that driveway. So we'd either have to deny the project completely because we don't like this one variance that was approved. That's it. Thank you.
What's the will of the board?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. There's a motion to approve. Ask for a roll call, please, with the condition.
If the zoning board of appeals approves the application, the variances, the following conditions will apply. 1, if the rights authorized by this variance are not exercised within 1 year of the date of the grant of this variance, the right shall lapse. This variance shall not be valid until the appellant has recorded this variance and plan in the Suffolk County Registry of Deeds and submits document recording numbers and dates to the city clerk and building inspector of the city of Revere, and the appellant must receive site plan review approval prior to applying for a building permit. Shall the zoning board of appeals grant the relief requested, subject to those conditions? Mr. Lemonna?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Lopes?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. O'Brien is absent. Mr. Pelton?
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Pratt, alternate member? Yes. And Chairman Tucker?
No.
No, the variance has been granted, subject to those conditions.